everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Thriller Thursday. So for today's video I'm doing my first disappearance, sort of missing person case, and this is the disappearance of Don Lewis. So for anyone who has seen the Netflix series Tigerking would most probably know who Don Lewis is. And for anyone who hasn't seen Tigerking, I highly recommend you go and watch it. It is a really good series, not sponsored by Netflix, it's just really good. Well, I enjoyed it anyway. I do know some people who didn't, but as you can tell from my phone case, I did enjoy it. So if anyone is wondering where my phone case is from, it's actually from Coconut Lane. Now I do have a discount code for you, I'll pop it on the screen now. On Coconut Lane they sell so many different phone cases, so many different styles. They sell iPad cases, laptop cases, MacBook skins, they sell watch straps, accessories, hair masks, literally so many nice stuff. And they also do personalised cases, so you can pop your initials on there. Yeah, it's just a really nice website and I'm loving it. So if you like the look of this phone case or would like to purchase sort of another item from there, my code will give you 20% off everything. Okay, so getting on with the actual video, just a disclaimer, I mean no offence by making these videos, they are just for educational and awareness purposes. So like I said, most people would have seen or definitely heard of the Netflix series Tigerking. It mainly revolves around the character Joe Exotic, but does have a lot of other interesting characters. One of these characters is a woman called Carole Baskin.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens.
So a lot of people believe that Carole Baskin killed her husband, Don Lewis. But not only do they think that she killed him, people also believe that she fed him to their tigers. So Don actually left his wife and children to be with Carole. So Carole actually took over a big cat sanctuary, which was known as Big Cat Rescue. She did this with her late husband in Tampa, Florida. So Carole and Don both happily ran Big Cat Sanctuary together until Don disappeared on the 18th of August 1997 and then was nowhere to be found. So Don was described as being a little odd, but was a self-made millionaire worth around $5 to $6 million. Although he was a millionaire, he was often caught rummaging through rubbish bins for food, which may be why people described him as being odd. So when Don first went missing, Carole surprisingly did report him missing to police. She claims that her husband Don was planning on transporting cars to Costa Rica, which wasn't a new area for him as he did own 200 acres of land there. He actually wanted to move out there with Carole, but she didn't like this idea and didn't want to. So on the 20th of August, 2 days after Don went missing, his van was reportedly found at Pilot Country Airport, which is a private airport located roughly 35 miles away from the sanctuary, and his keys were actually left inside the van. After Don's disappearance, his family, including daughters and ex-wife, all believed that Carole had something to do with this. Although Carole said that she didn't, and stuck by her innocence and claimed that she wasn't responsible. One thing that did look a bit suspicious was that Carole did refuse to take a polygraph test. Although polygraph tests aren't always accurate to find out whether someone is lying or not, it just looks a bit suspicious if you sort of refuse to do one, because if you knew you were innocent, you'd just do it, wouldn't you? Records show 2 months before Don went missing, he actually went to authorities for protection against Carole. He claimed that Carole threatened to kill him, but his protection was actually declined. Also, some people that were close to Don claimed that before he went missing, He used to speak about wanting to divorce Carole, but Carole claimed that he always spoke about this, always said it, and wasn't actually being serious. Don was officially declared deceased in 2003, but a body was never found. His attorney believed that he may have went to an airport to look at a plane and maybe was thrown from one. But if that was true, surely they would have known if a plane was missing at the time, if he got on a plane, or there would have been a body if it was thrown from a plane. And yeah, there was just no evidence to sort of back this theory up. And surely if Don was going to Costa Rica, someone there would have come forward saying if they had seen him or would have at least known that he was going there. But according to Carole, someone did see him. According to Carole. After everyone started hearing about this, they were all interested in the disappearance and also in the fact that Carole may have fed his body to the tigers. When Carole had heard that people said this, she posted something on her blog. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but if you haven't seen Tiger King, Carole Baskin had a blog where she used to post on sort of videos, messages, just everything to her fans. And this is what it said. When the directors of the Netflix documentary Tiger King came to us 5 years ago, they said they wanted to make a big cat version of Blackfish, the documentary that exposed abuse at SeaWorld, that would expose misery caused by the rampant breeding of big cat cubs for cub petting exploitation, and the awful life cats lead in roadside zoos and backyards if they survive. There are not words for how disappointing this is to see that the series does not only not do any of that, but has had the sole goal of being salacious and sensational as possible to draw viewers. As part of that, it has been segment devoted to suggesting, with lies and innuendos from people who aren't credible, that I have had a role in the disappearance of my husband, Don, in 1997. The series presents this without any regard for the truth, or in most cases even giving me an opportunity before publication to rebut the absurd claims. They did not care about the truth. The unsavoury lies are better for getting viewers. There is no short, simple way to refute so many lies. If you do want the truth, it requires understanding the history of events in the years before my husband's disappearance, and the roles and behaviours of the people interviewed in the series, which I have tried to do as concisely as I can below, but it still requires a few pages. What a mouthful. So that is what Carole said on her blog. So while everyone was watching Tiger King, so was County Sheriff Chad Chronister, who had been working for the department for 28 years. So after seeing the documentary, Chad now wants some answers and sent out a tweet on the 30th of March about the disappearance of Don and said if anyone had any information or knew anything to come forward. According to him, they are receiving around 6 new tips a day, but none are valuable as of yet. As well as Joe Exotic and pretty much everyone else thinking that Carole may have had something to do with this and may have fed into the tigers, so does Don's family. Don's daughter actually wrote an article in the local newspaper about her dad's disappearance, and it read, Don Lewis's daughter thought the police may have made a crucial error. We were upset that the cops didn't test the DNA on the meat grinder. Perhaps an explanation is in order. On August the 18th, 1997, Don Lewis, a self-made millionaire, went missing. Police soon found his van at the airport near his Tampa home. After that, nothing. Lewis, 60, and his second wife Carole, then 36, had transformed 40 acres of Tampa real estate into a refuge for 200 leopards, cougars and other big cats. In her remark about the meat grinder, Donna Pettis, one of Lewis's daughters from his first marriage, was suggesting, not subtly, that perhaps Carole very much knew what had happened to her husband. and the cats did too. "Nonsense," said Carole. "My tigers eat meat, they don't eat people." No trace of Don Lewis was ever found, leaving Carole and his children to battle over control of his $5 million estate. One big bit of information about this case is that soon after Don went missing, Carole found a new partner. There isn't a lot of information on him, but in 2002 he did what Don tried to do, and he filed a protection order against Carole. He claimed that Carole was very threatening against him and also said that he was worried for his own life. He said one time he asked Carole what happened to her husband, and her response was, "Dead bodies don't talk." So this wasn't said to be 100% true, but this is what her partner at the time said. He also claims that 3 to 4 days before he filed this protection order against Carole, some human bones were found near an RV centre. And he also said that Carole apparently said, "I hope they're not on my property or I will be in deep trouble." And that is pretty much all of the information on this case. I know what I think. I think that Carole should have been a main suspect but wasn't, because I actually found out her brother worked within law, so perhaps that's why she wasn't a main subject and wasn't looked into a bit more. But yeah, I definitely think she should have been. Let me know what you think down below, and if there's any other cases you would like me to cover. If you did enjoy this video, I'd love if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.